Hello, guys. It's Will Lissel here from the UK and from Yorkshire, the North region of England. And we have a new independent artist today. We are talk about Michelle Lockey, and we are talking about feelings, emotion, and her music is something spectacular. I want you to listen and pay attention on music videos because this is gonna be amazing. So, Michelle, just let us know where you are and who you are as an artist.
Yep, I'm located in the United States in Maryland, just north of Washington, D.C. Um, and we live in a little rural area, farmland out in Washington, D.C. And who I am as an artist is a little bit of a hard question to answer. I mainly kind of indie music, indie folk, indie pop. I perform locally. I try to, my own original stuff, I try to write things that are true to life, emotional feelings. The latest projects are kind of about my life and the feelings that certain things have brought. I try to use my music and my artistry to help others as well. And I play guitar and ukulele, and I can play keyboards, but I don't play that as much anymore.
Okay, that's good because you can play multiple instruments. That's
Hmm.
we have talent here, guys. So because I can't play any instrument, I have a problem in my brain. That's why I'm saying. But look, what about this? The latest release that Who Hears the Broken?
Mm.
You said it's about something personal, but is it something like you are still dealing with today or something that's in the past?
Well, it's something that happened in the past when I was younger that kind of changed my viewpoint of the world. And I mean, I'll go ahead and tell people because I've said this in interviews before, but I think it was about 5 or 6. I was a victim of a sexual predator, and it kind of changed my worldview when the cop showed up. Like you just, when you're that young, you're playing, the world's free, everything's great, and then all of a sudden something happens, and you're like, well, what happened? What went wrong? And so it made me feel like I was bad, I was wrong. I had a lot of low self-esteem, low self-worth for a very long time. And I didn't even really believe in myself as that I could sing or do anything music, even though that's what I always wanted, until like much later in life. I finally kind of broke through that with just a bunch of things happened all at once. So this song is kind of coming for that perspective, is looking back as a child um, and feeling those emotions. And I was trying to get really deep into like how I felt about myself. And, and I still deal with it a little bit here and there, the feelings of low self-worth and low self-esteem, but I'm much more capable of dealing with that now and realizing that that's not truth, you know?
Oh yeah, that's I understand that because it happened to me as well.
Mm,
So
yeah.
it's at the same age. So I know that feeling. I know what we struggle with,
Hmm.
and I can tell you, I almost died from that because it
Yeah.
was uh, child sexual slavery in Brazil, where I was born. So I understand what you're talking about,
Hmm.
and I find it amazing that you can use your music and your talent to speak out, because if you don't do that,
Yeah.
kids, they never do it. We can only do it when you get like adult, like you and me. I'm 41 now,
Hmm.
and now I have maturity to speak and not suffer anymore with that. But I can tell you it was a lot of suffering during many years, so
Oh
I
yeah.
know what you're talking about. And one of the reasons we suffer is exactly what you said. We don't know if we are wrong or right.
Right.
And it
Yeah.
affects our cognitive development too. Because
Hmm.
we lose that notion of wrong and right. And we never know our identity anymore. We lose it forever.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
true.
And then we try to recover and create another person in this body.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So incredible. You are brave.
Thank you. Yeah. I know that other people, like you just said, suffer from similar things. So, and I remember being at a small conference one time and, telling the story, and like nobody told me that I did nothing wrong until I was 43 years old. So I was in a counseling group because obviously things were still not going well. And when I told the story, somebody turned to me and said, you were only 5 or 6. It's not your fault. And I feel like, what? And it was like, it was a turning point. And then I got angry because I never ever blamed this person. I always blamed myself. So
Oh
like
my
at that
God.
point, it was like a pivot moment, like, oh, and things started to change. So when I was at this other conference, I told the story, and I just said, look, if this has happened to anyone in this room, it's not your fault. And somebody came up to me later and said that really helped them because nobody had ever said that before. And it's like, why are we afraid to talk about that and to tell, children or people that this is not your fault? So part of this song was kind of conveying that. It's like, I don't say it's not your fault in the song, but it's just kind of like nobody's hearing you, and you just have these thoughts going in your head, and it kind of keeps you from being who you're really meant to be. And until you break through that, you might not be who you're supposed to become, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Can I make a comment? So I know
Yes.
that that's your interview, but this topic, uh, people don't like to talk about it
I know.
when they didn't experience this. They feel it's not very comfortable to talk about.
Right.
They feel afraid to ask you questions.
Hmm.
So n- everyone just don't talk, don't mention it, and that's it, especially inside the families. And
Right.
this is not good. By what I think, after recovery, and I feel that we need to have this kind of discussion here. People that suffer the same or something similar, and talk about it and see if others can relate and try to get the same results in terms of mental health. When you talk about guilty, why it happens, I was also talking in a small, it wasn't a conference, but it was a room with other people with the same kind of problem.
Mm-hmm.
And when they talked about guilty, was exactly about that children confuse, because the predators say that, don't tell your parents, I
Mm-hmm.
love you, I care about you. We get confused about the kind of feeling is that, and we confuse with love, and we don't know that until we get older and discover what's love for real. So we believe we actually have a kind of special relationship with the predator, and from there comes the guilt, because sometimes we come back to the predator.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it was bad, we come back. And sometimes they are so uh, you know good doing that with the children to manipulate. uh, Sometimes we feel pleasure as a children, as a kid. Sometimes we feel pleasure, and that's the guilt comes from there. But we
Mm-hmm.
should not being stimulated in that way.
Right.
That's not our fault. We didn't ask for that.
Right.
From there comes the guilt, and now with this conversation we kill the guilt.
That's right.
Because I wasn't asking. You could never ask for that at that age.
No.
We don't know what is sex. We don't know what's pleasure. We don't know what the hormones our body will release with that kind of stimulation at
Right.
5, at 6. We
Right.
shouldn't have that kind of hormones. If we have, it's because an adult or an older person did that to us.
Right.
Open that key, and now, oh, your name is Lockey. We are closing that for forever. Lockey on that
Lock it
topic.
down.
Because man, for real, we suffer for the rest of our lives for something
Hmm.
that we didn't ask. It's not fair.
Right.
So I would like to listen to that song now
Okay.
because you said that the lyrics
Hmm.
are special, and I will pay attention on that.
Okay.
I cannot cry with this today. It's too deep. Let's go. I'm gonna put on screen.
Okay.
Uh, it's here. Can you see that now?
Yes. Oh, that's, I should have done better. Yeah.
Right. Wow. This topic is amazing.
Do you want to play this one or Who Hears the Broken on Spotify?
Of course.
Looking back on my life at the person I was, lots of regrets and lots of lost love. When you needed me the most, I wasn't there. Wasn't the one that you could cry on. I couldn't be the one who would be strong for you, even though you needed me to. I should have done better, but I kept making mistakes. I should have loved better, but I kept you at arm's length. Didn't know how to be the one you wanted me to be, and all I can say is I'm sorry. And I'm gonna do better. I acted in ways that I'm ashamed of. I gave myself a little bit of love that I thought would make me whole, but it wasn't real. So how could I love you when I didn't love me? And how could I trust when I couldn't see the truth? Didn't want to hear it from you. I could have done better, but I kept making mistakes. I could have tried harder, but I kept you at arm's length. Didn't know how to be the one you needed me to be, and all I can say is I'm sorry. You were kind, you were caring, you were patient. I was selfish, I was jealous, I was cheated. I would tell you lies to get what I want from you. Could have left me, but you would always take it. Day after day, I don't know how you made it, and it's hard for me to say it. But I'm gonna do better and make up for my mistakes. I'm gonna try harder, won't keep you at arm's length. Didn't know how to be the one you needed me to be, and all I can say is I'm sorry. And I can do better. I can do better. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna do better.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was that was very deep. And I know that's not the new release. We
Right.
are going to explore that on Spotify, and you can explain about the lyrics again. But this one has a different lyrics, but almost the same meaning.
Yeah. So this one, yeah, like you said, when we're processing all this stuff, I mean, you make a lot of mistakes, right? And you don't know how to love or like people appropriately. So you make mistakes, right? So, and this song is actually part of the bigger album project that's going to include this song and the release I just did. Exploring all that, right? So an apology, but it was also like I didn't know how I'm supposed to be,
Exactly.
and other people don't know that. They just maybe see you acting out or behaving in a certain way, and um, but it all stems from that brokenness that happens in your mind, and it's like you mentioned before, when something tragic happens in your life early on, whether it's what happened to us or other people, different things can happen. It changes the chemistry in your brain, and it just rewires how you think and feel and grow up. And it takes a lot to reverse that, but you can reverse it. So that song was kind of exploring that, just thinking back and the ways I acted and who I was and how I was behaving and just apologizing because I just didn't know how to behave or how to love,
Exactly.
I guess you
I
could say.
couldn't I couldn't change that. I needed therapy and
Mhm.
medication.
Yeah.
The crisis, the mental health crisis came when I was 38.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
thought I was a grown man. I thought I
Yeah.
was normal, recovered, never had any problem. I'm normal. I didn't know that I was sick for real
Yeah.
in my head. I thought everyone was like me without emotional connection.
Yeah. Yeah. It took me a lot. Yeah. I was 43 when I kind of realized that this is not right. I'm not happy. I don't, and I try to blame everything else, but what was happening in here. Yeah, it was about 3 years, I think, maybe 2 years. I had group therapy and individual therapy, and, I'd been on and off antidepressants for a while, I think before just to mask things, but this time around, it was just, very low just to settle, things down while I processed everything. So,
I
yeah, you
know.
can stay blocked for a really long time, you know? But it
Yeah.
helps you write good music sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. When people are broken, they can create very deep lyrics and nice melodies, etc. I don't know why, but you are not the first one telling me that.
Yeah,
That's incredible. I love this kind of life history that show that we can recover and overcome these situations, and it works as an inspiration, as a reference for younger ones, and it's a problem that will never stop, I think, you know,
yeah,
and we just have to be more open about it without any shame.
right.
We what we are doing right now, because in my case I'm when I do that I sacrifice my masculinity because the predator was also a man, and
Mhm.
the stigma of homosexuality for men makes them never talk about it.
Right.
And in my case I made the opposite. I was talking to the newspaper. My son is just a teenager, and it was for me, it was really difficult to do that, but he understand now, and he wasn't a victim. He
Yeah,
could protect himself. Protecting himself was the goal, and he did it. He learned very early, and what we are doing here today is something for them, for the younger generation, especially your music with those lyrics. So thank you for that. As a person that was living that nightmare,
yeah.
thank you for that. You are doing a
Thank you.
great job. And if you told that in the past you couldn't do right or you could do better, I don't believe that it was like that. I
Yeah.
believe that everything has the right time. And
Mhm.
now you have the level of maturity, the level of overcoming, the feeling that you have your value. And that's the time you are doing this kind of music with this kind of lyric and touching people like me in the other
Good.
side of the world. And you help me to heal something that happened 40 years ago. Can you imagine the power that you have in your hands, in your voice, in everything that you were living in the past? You are just transforming in something positive. And I'm
Thank
here saying thank you for singing to me, for giving me the chance to listen to that lyrics and relate and feel the hill. So don't stop.
thank you.
Never, please.
I mean, that's, part of my hope is that these words can help someone, heal from something or have hope.
Great. You got one already. So let's go to the next one. I'm the first. Am I the first telling you that about the songs? No.
No, a few people, but not, people, oh, it's a great song, this, that, and the other. But there are a few that really need to hear it, and I will get some good comments here and there, but we have to get people to listen first, which is they listen, but sometimes it's hard to get really focused
Well,
fans,
watching an interview like that is a good point because then
Yeah,
they can understand, how deep it is.
right.
Well, can we go to Spotify now? Because now I'm
Yes,
curious about the news, the new track.
yes,
I should start with the new one, but
that's
I
okay.
just I chose to go to that one first, just to check the beginning of the project and where we are right now with
Yeah.
Who Hears the Broken. So just give us an explanation about the lyrics of this one again.
Yeah, so this one, I wanted to get really deep and kind of remember those feelings of what happened when I was younger. And so it kind of follows the story of that, of how it was like a loss of innocence. And I had always wanted to sing, but felt, I couldn't, wasn't strong enough, and couldn't really do what I was meant to do. And just it also goes over like how I felt about myself in the later years. And you'll hear the line in there in the second verse, and just that feeling of silence. Like you can't express what happened. Like you're broken. And nobody hears you that you're broken, if that makes sense. So the song does that, but then it also kind of comes into hope towards the end, because I've broken through that, and I want other people to know that they can too. And I don't want to give it all away, but
Okay, we're gonna listen it now, and I know there is a music video, right, for this one.
there will be. It's launching this coming Sunday. Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay, so it's finished now, but it's for Sunday, 8 o'clock my time, Eastern US. It'll be out, the video.
Great. So before listening, then I will just give all your social networks because this is important for those who want to follow and place her tracks on personal playlists and also wait for the music video. It's gonna be on Sunday. So uh, all social networks will be on her website, michellelockey.com. But if you want to go straight to your preferred social network, go to Spotify, Michelle Lockey, Instagram, Michelle Lockey Music, YouTube, Michelle Lockey Music, Bandcamp, Michelle Lockey Music, and her website, michellelockey.com. So let's go to Spotify and listen to this one, the new track, Who Hears the Broken?
There's a girl, I remember her at 3, young and innocent, and wanting everything. She heard someone sing a melody, and that was it. She knew who she would be, but the world wasn't what it seemed. A monster came and changed all she believed. She felt wrong in every single way. How could she tell someone, let alone sing? She was outside looking in, didn't know what to say or where to begin. Who hears the broken? Who cries for her? Can't wipe away the shame by ignoring all her pain. Afraid to live, ashamed to speak. Will she ever be what she's supposed to be? Who hears the broken? When she got older, she grew bolder, but felt like nothing but a fool. She thought love would solve everything, but her reflection said, you're disgusting. The demons kept coming round, so she kept quiet, didn't make a sound. Who hears the broken? Who cries for her? Can't wipe away the shame by ignoring all her pain. Afraid to live, ashamed to speak. Will she ever be what she's supposed to be? Late at night, wishing she'd never been born, feeling so ugly and her heart is torn, hoping for a miracle that hasn't come yet. Years have passed, all feels the same. Tired of feeling lonely, separated and drained, shouting, I don't want to feel this way anymore. Afraid to live, ashamed to speak. Will she ever be what she's supposed to be? Can she live? Will she speak? Does she know she can be anything? Does she know she can be anything? Oh, here's the broken. She knows she can be anything. She knows she can be.
Wow, Michelle, for real, amazing.
Thank you.
I'm gonna first talk about the musicality. So folk, acoustic, there is that backing vocal,
Mhm.
there is that second voice. It's all you doing all of that. It's
It's all
all
me.
your.
It's all me singing. I work with a producer, and he's been a friend of mine for years. He mentored me when I was like scared to death to sing and record an album, and so we wanted to do another album together. So um, he records the instruments. I may start to write everything, but we'll start to write together, and then he's a much better player than me. So I'm like, you play the instruments, and record them. So he did the recording, and we both wrote it and, you know, figured out the arrangement together, and what kind of instruments and everything we wanted in there.
So the main idea is yours. You had
Yep.
this partnership to, oh my God, this is
Mhm.
amazing because you just told me, oh, I was scared to death just to open my mouth and sing. And look what you are doing now. How
Yeah.
old were you when we started?
So it's a long story, but when I formally started, so my first album came out in 2008. So my first like formal recording session was kind of in that year prior, and before that, I got up the courage to do karaoke after like years and years of, and the only song I would ever sing was Hotel California by the
Oh, okay.
Eagles. It's like that was like my go-to song. But the first time I ever did that, I think I drank so much that I don't, because I was so scared. I was so scared to get up. Um, but I would, you know, sing by myself when I was younger, and um, I wanted to sing and sound like, you know, people on the radio back then, but I didn't realize that if I couldn't sing to someone's song on the radio and couldn't sing like as high as they could sing, that I couldn't sing. Like I thought I couldn't sing because I couldn't do that. And nobody told me. Nobody told me that, you know, your voice is an instrument, that my ranges may be different than somebody else. I never knew any of that. I did did one high school musical play where I got the lead. And that was, nobody knew I could sing at that time. Nobody. My mom was like, what? You know? But then I don't know. I was like, I did that, and then I kind of shut down for a while. And I started finally, I saw somebody on stage, a friend of mine, Jen Hawley. She's a musician, and I saw her at my church singing. I was like, wow, I really wish I could sing like that. And I talked to her after, and I talked to them and the church choir, and joined the choir. And so I started to get more comfortable that way. It took a long time though. It really did. And when I worked with Steve, so the studio is called Studio Unknown. I'm sorry, not Studio Unknown, Song Builder Studio. And his name is Stephen Joseph Antonelli. I had a song idea, and it had so many lyrics, it was ridiculous. I took it to him, and we made it more pop sounding, and he instructed me in, like, you know, how to use the mic and how to record. But man, I was so afraid to record, but he kind of helped me like every bit of the way. He's like, we'll try it this way. And he'd sing something to me, and then I'd try to sing it back. And it was a process, but it happened. Yeah, and I think this is the first album, The Little Things. I think there's the
It was,
song on there.
yeah,
The,
2010. But you
yeah,
said there is one before this one, right? 2008?
I thought it was 2008, but maybe it was
Oh,
2010. I
okay.
get confused, but I might have re-released it. Like I switched. But the first song was They Say. It was the first song I ever did on that album. And
Yeah,
this
they
is,
say forgive
that,
yourself.
yeah, that's what I was trying to forgive myself for. And this is
Mistakes.
before I kind of, you know, went through all the stuff to heal me. And then, yeah, One Child, I kind of felt like, um, just being in this new church now and seeing the things they helped, I kind of wanted that song to maybe help children or something, you know, in poverty. Um, so that was yeah, that was a hard album. Like, it was my first exposure, you know, to all of that.
You are so brave. It's incredible how you could do that. Because
Yeah.
it's difficult for women more than for men, I think. Because people judge,
Hmm.
and you didn't care. Maybe you cared, but you
Oh, I
don't care
cared.
right now. You
I
don't
cared a
care right
lot.
So you kept like releasing different like singles and then EP albums, and there is a lot of things on your portfolio. How many albums you have? You even don't know because there is a lot.
6 or 7, and a lot of so a lot of the singles too. So one thing, I write music for film and TV. Like I pitch the music to film and TV. So that's why there's a lot of music, because I started to write over the years with people and get things into film and TV shows. One of my Christmas tracks was in a Hallmark movie, Hallmark's Hope at Christmas. It was the name of the movie.
That's great.
So that's part of why I have a lot of stuff out too, and of kind of different flavors, different genres. And then this album that I'm doing now, it's like I kind of wanted to forget the whole film and TV thing and just get back to writing more about me and my experiences and how I might be able to help other people. So that's where this new project is coming in. And I Should Have Done Better was one of them. And then the other one in this project is Why Don't They Choose Me? That has a music video too. And Why Don't They Choose Me was kind of about not feeling right in school, like not fitting in, being bullied a little bit, just feeling like, you just don't fit in anywhere. Nobody really chooses you for their friend. And when I did the music video, I got a lot of footage from what's the site, Pexels, P-E-X-E-L-S, because I wanted to portray like kids in school that were kind of being bullied or teased or whatever. And so that's what that song's about. So that one I released in January. Yep.
That's interesting. You are still sensible to this kind of problem that we still have today, like bullying, etc. So good to hear that, that there is people like you with this experience in your life and doing that directed to this kind of kids that are having the same problem.
Yeah.
With empathy, I will never stop saying thank you for this amazing job. Oh my God. Amazing. Can you listen to that one?
Yeah. You can listen to it or watch the video, whichever one you prefer.
We can go to the video too, but the video is why don't they choose me? Okay, I'm gonna go to the video then. Let's see, video. It's on your YouTube channel.
Yep. Should be the first one, I think, that shows on the homepage.
Bless you.
Thank you. It's really hot back home here, so I think there's a little allergens floating around the air.
Here we was supposed to be in the summer, but we don't have summer, so our summer is really, really bad. So I think I have this music video. Why don't they choose me? This one, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Great. Let's go.
Nobody sees me. Nobody wants to be like me. Nobody chooses me for their team, 'cause I'm a loser and a freak. They just stare when I walk past, roll their eyes, whisper and laugh. I feel ashamed and so small, wish I didn't exist at all. Why don't they choose me, like me for who I am? Why don't they love me instead of judging by a glance? I can't stop crying, I feel like dying. Maybe then they'll see me. Why don't they see me? I get my whole I let my guard down. I think it's finally going my way, but I can't trust a thing that they say. Maybe I'll change the way I walk. Maybe I'll change the way I talk. What would it take to be accepted? What level of perfection? So why don't they choose me just for who I am? Why don't they love me instead of judging by our plans? I can't stop crying, but I'll keep on trying until they see me. Why don't they see me? What you don't know is there's no one like me. If you get knocked down, I'll stand for you and keep fighting. I know I'm odd, quirky, and imperfect. Doesn't mean that I'm not worth it. So why won't they choose me just for who I am? I know they'll love me if they'll just give me a chance. I wanna stop trying, I wanna stop crying, but I want them to see me. Why won't they see me? Why won't they see me? See me.
Wow. All your songs, they are really deep.
That one makes me cry more than like the other one. I don't know. Something
Because it
about it.
goes back to your childhood
Yeah,
when you felt like you had no power at all,
that's right.
but now you have. So, wow, 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 wow. Great. So, what about your family members? Do they support you on this journey since the first album and then the change to the film industry and now coming back to your personal experience, etc.?
Yeah, I mean they've supported it. I mean, I guess I've been doing it long enough that it's not like pats on the back every time I go through it, but yeah, they support me. They listen to the music. They come to my shows, when they can. Um, and some of my family members, are getting inspiration from it to do their own projects, as well.
Good.
And I guess they see it as brave and so that's all good. And luckily I have a husband who supports me as well, so that I, can do this because it's not necessarily cheap.
Oh yeah.
But
We,
I've been lucky enough to have a lot of people that I work with where I write. So I'll write and come up with ideas, and I work with a producer who also writes, and then we kind of split the costs or and split the rights equally, so I don't have to pay as much production. And then I do the administration part. I launch them, I release them, I pitch the music out. I keep the databases of all the stuff. So it's kind of worked out where I'm not paying thousands and thousands, $1,000 for production, depending on who I work with. It just I've worked with a lot of different people, and so for film and TV, you have to come out with a lot of music. So that'd probably bankrupt me if I had to pay the full album cost. Every time you make a song or something. But I've been lucky to work with a lot of great people, so I thank them too for helping me through it.
well, when you talk about promotion, what comes behind the music production after we release? Because normal people, they just think, oh, you just put on Spotify and that's it. No, there is a lot of work behind it, marketing, social networks, etc. You do all by yourself.
Right now, yes. So this release, I'm following a bit more of a structured marketing plan than I have in the past. Because I would do social media marketing. I would send some emails out to people. Hey, I have this new song. Can you do A, B, and C? But it was kind of just you throw it up and see what happens. I would submit stuff like through the Muso Soup and submit Hub, but this time, and I started a little bit late, but this time I read a couple places online about what the structure you should do for releasing even just a single. And I made a plan out in a spreadsheet, what I need to be doing when, all the social media posts, so I have an email sequence going out right now. It's like a fan challenge to stream. So I'm trying to get, for the new release, I'm trying to get 1,000 streams this week during release week, which is supposed to trigger the algorithms and get things seen, and then get a certain number of purchases. So I've been doing a little fan challenge for that, where they need to do something every day. And then I have different kind of prizes I'm giving out every day. So, but yeah, it's been difficult, but interesting because I'm learning a lot, and I know a lot about the music business. So the more I learn, I think the better it prepares me for the future. But for the full release of this next album, I might use a promotion person because it's a lot of work.
Well, I just ask you, never stop producing music because it's not only melodies. There is a lot of meaning on the lyrics, and there is a huge power behind all your songs because it can touch us. Also, when it's acoustic, etc., helps a lot with the emotional connection with the audience. But you know what I'm talking about. I'm
Yeah.
talking about those lyrics, and where you can touch people emotionally. It's a place that normally everyone with this problem, they are closed. Nobody touch, nobody talk, and you
Right.
can do that with your songs. You can go there where there is a wound, and you help to heal. It's amazing. About film industry. This is a technical question. When you have a song in a commercial or film, etc., TV program, etc., is it satisfactory? The results after that, it helps with streaming, etc., or it's
Oh
just
yeah.
the production, what they pay, and that's it.
No, so well, first I'll say different shows and TVs pay different things. You get royalties in the back end, you get money up front when they license it. But yeah, it definitely increases the streams. I have one song that was on the show, Rain, or REIGN, Rain. It was a really popular show. And it's like at 100,000 streams right now. The Christmas song is like 90,000 streams. I had a song on Dance Moms during one of their dance numbers, and that one's getting a ton of streams all the time. So people, they either find it or they use the Shazam app. Are you familiar with yeah.
Yeah,
So so that's why I release them, because if people hear
that
them, then they yeah. And so all of that kind of builds up and combines as part of your income together. So it does definitely help.
that's good. That's good
Yeah.
because it's so difficult to have a song uh, in the radio, for example. So we
Yeah.
can imagine TV and film industry, etc., commercials.
Yeah.
I have an article. I published this article some time ago with a recommendation of 5 different companies for independent artists to
Mm.
pitch their music, and people are using that. I like to help, and I feel that for the next article, I can mention your example and attach your songs, etc. Giving like a reference, so this artist could do it, so you can
Yeah.
do it with your music too, like
Yeah,
that.
that'd be great. Yeah. Because that's, part of what I want people to know too, is that, I mean, it can be done, and sometimes I have to prove it to myself too, but I keep just doing it and learning it and doing more things than trying something different the next time. You build and just keep going. Because you don't doing the same strategy over and over again and not getting results is not going to work. So
You're
find a marketing
experimenting with
program.
different
Yeah.
platforms.
Yeah,
Okay.
read music blogs. I mean, you've got great information out there. Anyone can do it. Just you need to be strategic. You need to have a plan. You need to be active on social media, and and just have the courage and believe in yourself that people can do it. You can do it. Just you have to believe in yourself. And if you have an incident like we were talking about today or something else that changed your perspective in the world, get help, talk about it. And because sometimes that just blocks you from everything, and you just don't realize what you're capable of until that's kind of removed from your brain a little bit. I mean, it never goes away, but you can change how you feel about yourself, and that gives you power to move forward with whatever dreams you want to accomplish. So
Exactly. Wow, talking to you works as a therapy for me because everything you say, it's like I relate. We have to talk more about these things and projects, etc.
yeah,
It's so I have a pleasure, talking about it and learning new things and also pass the information through this kind of interview. I have to say thank you again
oh yeah,
for being here with us. And we'll have to finish the interview, unfortunately. But anyway, we got all your social networks here to recommend to those who want to listen to acoustic music
yeah,
and pop music as well that has a very good content on its lyrics, and it's not only music and not only melody, it's more than that. So go to Spotify, Michelle Lockey, Instagram, Michelle Lockey Music, YouTube, Michelle Lockey Music, Bandcamp, Michelle Lockey,
yes,
uh, only Michelle Lockey, no
right,
music at the end. And website, michellelockey.com. Is it right?
yes, that's right, that's correct.
Great. Do you want to leave a message just to those who will be discovering your music from now, from this interview, and let's say that this interview will stay in our channel, and after a year, people will still be
Mhm.
discovering your music. Leave a message for that kind of fun that will just discover your portfolio.
Well, I'm glad you found me. I'd love for you to check out my music. There's a lot of variety in there. There's a lot of messages. There's some fun music, upbeat, and also just very heartwarming and motivational music. And I'd love it if you'd follow me on all social media networks and Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you listen to. And I'm really glad to have you aboard. I also have a private community that gets early access to everything. You can find out that information on my website, michellelockey.com. The people in my community get early access, exclusive access to music videos, new songs that are coming out, the making of videos, everything. So I'd love to have you there. And I'm so glad that you found my music, and I hope you enjoy.
And I'm glad you are here with us. It's an honor for us to have artists like you in our program. And when you have a new release, a new project, new album, new anything, just come back to us and
Okay.
we can have a new interview and talk about it. Okay?
That'd be great. Yeah, because there's new music coming out in the fall and then a full album, probably not till next spring. So you'll be seeing me again, probably.
For now, we will keep on repeat on who hears the broken,
Yes, please.
and also waiting for Sunday that's gonna
Yes.
be releasing the music video on
Yep.
YouTube.
Yep. 8 p.m. Eastern US time. I'm not sure what the time difference is there, but it'll be a bit. That's the live stream, and then it'll be available like after that.
Great. Thank
Yep.
you and see you next time, Michelle. I
Yes.
hope
Thank you.
you come back. Please don't stop making music.
Thank you. I won't. And thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
See you. Bye.